Well done, YouTube. I'm shaking. I'll steady it with both hands like a gun. I'm so fucking happy this morning. And I just had a weird experience. Not sure that's... I'm not sure that I should share, but I will do. Because I've just been at my research and development department. And when I was in there, I found a peculiar thing. I was totally unaware. Maybe it's because I dyed my hair. Yeah, actually, I almost dyed it. I almost died yesterday. My hair, of course, again. But yeah, just for fun. But this is permanent. But anyway, my research and development department is actually my toilet. And there's a lot of writing on my mirrors because that's kind of my whiteboard. Yes, that is aquarium and an aquarium. Never been able to hold water because it's leaking at the very back of it, and it's built up from the back and onwards, background. Yeah, but what I found this morning when I was researching, sitting on the stool or the throne, you might say, yeah. And my supply of toilet paper is still good. But I was researching and thinking about this fantastic girl I met yesterday, living together with my daughter. But while doing research, I had to wipe. Yeah, you probably do it too. Or maybe you're one of these weird people who has a tendency when they go to take a crap or dump or whatever you call it, number two, maybe, if you're like, I'm not sure if that's polite, but yeah. But anyway, I had to shit, like every living thing on the planet, I believe, does. But what I noticed was while wiping, fuck, is that only me doing that? Oh, Jesus. Oh, this might be kind of far beyond what you want to know, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one on the planet doing it. But when I use toilet paper, I pull out about 4 or 5 of these single sheets and then I fold it. I fold it over, it's really hard, but so it's not overlapping, but slightly overlapping, and fold it twice to be sure this is only 2 layers, because I hate the 3-layered ones because they're far too soft for my butt. But I fold it so it gets a bit wider by overlaying that in such a way. And when I have wiped my ass once with that piece of toilet paper, I fold it over again, but I can't fold it behind my back. And I don't want to use a lot of toilet paper, so I also have to check if I got it all wiped off. So I have to look at what my feces looks like. I believe feces is the most non-offensive word for human shit, or shit, of any kind. Sorry, I just have to start my coffee right now. And then we'll run, because it's a bit noisy. But what I noticed was that my feces had turned black. I was looking at the toilet, yeah, and I threw it in the toilet because I was pretty sure if I left it, I would have shown you, but like to prove it, but I didn't because that would be way too much for somebody. But it was black, believe me, and I know why. But I kind of didn't expect it. Yeah, I ventured deep into COVID-19 territory recently, and it wasn't a fun experience. My daughter was in a trauma center. Yeah, you don't have to know why, but I had to get to my daughter, and it was a problem getting in there because isolation and such. But believe me, the people take really good care. People working there of our patients, and you could not take pictures, and I of course, wouldn't do a video from the inside. But I got some pictures of the signs. I can't put them in this video, but believe me, they're taking the best of care here in Denmark. There's all sort of routines to like keep clean rooms and really intense when they're in the quarantine or isolations part, where they know there's a really big risk that something could be, the virus could be in there. But anyway, she was in there and she needed to have some active coal, I believe it's called. Not sure why or how charcoal gets activated. I think it's just coal. But anyhow, you use that for air filtration in facial masks if you're having to be in a room filled with toxic gases and such. And that's why, or that's because the coal, it kind of encapsulates bad stuff to us. So she had to have this because she has, she kind of, there's no easy way to say it, but she was in bad need of being detoxified, let's call it that. And she couldn't get this activated charcoal down in her stomach. And they wouldn't force it. And of course they would not. Because, but anyway. The doctor and the nurse told that it was actually a thing among hipsters now to use it in smoothies, and I was like, what the fuck? Is that a thing? It kind of seemed idiotic to me because I'm not sure what kind of substance it would be good for in a human body that isn't toxified by like toxins. But some people, they just do it. I think that's stupid. But anyway, I had the urge, that you can get when you stumble into something, to just, can I try it? Because I thought it might encourage or I could like get an idea how to make it easier to drink, because it's like just in a container when they break it out of the cupboard, like just a normal drink bottle or something like that, and it's just finely ground powdered charcoal. black as soot. Not it is, not but charcoal. As you know, if you got these briquet, or what are they called in English? I'm not sure actually, but you know, when you're grilling, you can get these compressed kind of charcoal and light them up. It's kind of that, you know, the fine powder left behind in the bag. That's really annoying. That blows around in the wind when you empty the last one out. And this you can't eat finely powdered charcoal. So the clever guys who makes this, they just, it's on the bottle, it says break up by smacking it against something or shake it and then add a certain amount of water to make it into a solution that's drinkable. And they told the patient, or my daughter, that it would feel like drinking sand. Yeah, and I'm not sure that's the best way of encouraging someone to to encourage them to drink it. Not digest. But anyways, she couldn't get it down because it was just so unnatural. It felt so bad. She puked it up. She took a sip and puked it up, although she didn't have anything in her stomach at that time. And she tried again a bit later, and the same thing happened. And then I thought, maybe if you made it taste different. It's not that I tried it and it doesn't taste that good, but it's not a bad taste as such. It's just odd because it's not like anything we normally eat. But I thought, hey, what if you took, and I'm not really sure. Maybe it's syrup. I believe it's syrup in French, but I'm not sure that you got it in England or America. But we got here in Denmark. We got something called saftevand, made of concentrated something synthetic taste, like strawberry or something like that, and you can add a tenth of the amount you want to make, 100 milliliters to a liter of water, and then you get a drinkable solution that tastes like strawberry. Yeah, and I thought, hey, if you add the concentrate, you're not supposed to drink it alone, but it would camouflage the bad taste. So you would only have this weird sensation of drinking something that was a bit thicker. And the nurse was kind of like, that might actually be a good idea. But my daughter wasn't up for it. And later I thought, maybe, because I know when you drink something, you get it all over your tongue. Not thong, because that's a different thing. But we taste with all our tongue. And that's kind of the natural way to do it. Like when I'm sipping coffee, it rolls over my tongue. So I thought the same thing we would do with anything we drink. So I thought to myself, hold on. If I'm kind of in the mood for a good old-fashioned milkshake, like the banana ones we had, or the strawberry ones, and where you could get the clerk behind the counter to get, can you add extra syrup? Yeah, and he was, yeah, sure, yeah, and that was the most fantastic thing. But we had him with straws, and the straw kind of goes further in, or I do it that way, if it's really cold, because my teeth are sensitive to cold drinks. So I do it that way, then it's not that tasty. So I like swirl it around without me noticing, of course, to get the flavor. But I thought to myself, hey, hold on. And asked the nurse, do you have one of these straws that you can bend? Like, one of these riffle sections, you can bend it. And she was, yeah. And she found one for me. And I thought, because my daughter couldn't sit up at that time, then she would throw up all over the place. And I thought you could, like, just lift the head up a bit, and then you can actually drink with a straw. And it would probably make it easier. And she tried it. Did not work out. But I, as with the weird dad, still wanted to like try it, because it was like, it couldn't be that bad. But okay, if you're feeling like shit and you're throwing up already, it might be bad, whatever you've had in your mouth. And I kind of asked my daughter, can you drink it all? And the nurse and the doctor said, nobody actually managed to drink a whole body, or a whole body. Fuck it! A whole bottle of it. So I thought, I can take a sip or 2 sips. And I said to my daughter, how would you feel if I tasted it? And she was, yeah, just try it, Dad. It's really shit. It's really bad. And I, of course, wanting to, I tried it with a straw at first. And my daughter, she was looking really intensely at me, because she was pretty sure that it would be so rude to my taste buds that I would just throw it out or throw it up. Remember, sticky notes. Yeah, but I didn't throw up. Actually, I was able, with a straw that far into my mouth or on my tongue, I was able just to like sip it up, like without, because when we let air into our mouth, it like activates the flavor even more. So I was able to like just keep on drinking it without the taste actually hitting my taste buds. So I thought, this is a clever idea, and the nurses would they would like try this at first from now on, because I was kind of pretty clever. Not that I'm that clever, but they thought it was a good idea too. And then, of course, I had to taste it the way they did it, just out of a plastic cup on my lips, like drink normally, right? And that was a bad experience. But the thing is, the thing that all started me going on this is I was taking a dump at the research and development lab. And this charcoal, even though I had only had like, I think, 6 sips at the max, maybe only 5, it turned it turned my poop black. And I thought to myself, hold on. Hold on. If you had a whole bottle and there was like, I think it was 50 grams of charcoal in this bottle. If I had drunk a whole bottle of this, my crap would be like fucking charcoal black, like all the way black. But yeah, and I must admit, I kind of checked out how does my turd actually look, and they were the very same color as the feces I wiped off my ass. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you might be like going like, what is he doing? I didn't need to know that. But yeah, if you're still here, if you're still like watching, you have found it interesting not to hear about my turds, but to like What the hell is he doing? This weird guy from Denmark. Who freaking dyed his hair? Just slightly blue. It's even better in the sunlight. Let me show you. I think I got sunlight on this side. It's intense. Come on, exposure. Come on. Yeah, but I forget about it. And I don't look in the mirrors. I got a lot of them, but I don't like look for how do I look, because just do my hair. I can do it without looking at a mirror. So once in a while, once a day at least, I notice my hair, and I just yeah, and I love it, but I forget about it. Oh, I got the shakes. Too much coffee. Way too much coffee already. But yeah, where am I going with this? Yeah, my hair. When I walk the streets, yesterday, 2 guys in a car, young guys, they were like rolling down the windows, and I was just past them, and one of them just shouted in a nice way, where he shouted, "Man, that's a nice hair color. It looks so good on you." And I was just like, "Thank you, sir. Have a nice day." And he just smiled. And it's kind of fantastic, because people ask. Some guys just look, they seem offended by it. But they have to look at it. And then they look away, and then they look back, and some persons, they just want to interact, because what the hell happened? Why did he do this? Yeah, and I think it's kind of fun, because I like talking to people. So, and yes, it is permanent. I think it's been like, is it 3 years, Luca, since you dyed your hair? And yeah, it's grown out, like her hair has like grown out 20 centimeters or so from when she dyed her hair last time. And there's still some color left in that hair. She's currently trying to like bleach it slowly, like with a solution of water, like if you go to the swimming pool, public swimming pool, where there's a little chlorine in it. So it's not turning her hair like yellowish, like when you bleach your hair. So it's that permanent. This will not go away. No, sir. And I love it. I freaking love it. Yeah, but I think this video has been way, way, way too long already. Oh, yeah. I need to mention my uncle and his wife, Jørgen and Bodil. I'm very glad that you actually did not cancel the meeting you wanted to have, like with my parents and your sister, Jytte, because my parents were really, really like happy. It really helped meeting you in person, and it's important right now. And I sat at my patio this morning doing the first video of the day with the sun rising over the building, and I thought, oh my God, I admire my Uncle Jørgen. Yeah, I do, Jørgen. I do admire you. Because way back when I was young, we had these things. We called it personal computers. Yeah, it was a thing. Computers, like nowadays we got computers. Yeah, and we got laptops. We hadn't not anyway like that, because you young people are used to programs It's just a thing. If you need to write something, you have a program for that. If you need to like draw something, you have a program for that. If you need to do anything on a computer, there's already a person who have made, or a group of person who have made this, this program that makes you able to be just creative or do the things you need on the computer. You take that for granted. But way back when I was a kid, computers was a new thing. And there was no programs for them. So you could actually buy these books that taught you how to program the computer in the language of the computer. And way back then, the language of the computers were in English. As a kid, I thought, hey, these computers are cool. I can imagine, what if I can make my handle? And back then, it was not Blind Vision X as it is now. It was just my initials. TAG. Troels Ahlefeldt Kripping. Tag for short. And I thought it was hilarious because it was a tag. So having a tag, which was tag, would be kind of cool. And I wanted to do these rolling shutter effect. That was a thing. Or line bars going up and down through the text. And I programmed that. It took freaking ages to figure out how to make the routine for making the colors look like it was bars going up and down inside the characters. And I did it in basic programming. And it was running really bad because there was basic language that was a bit like English to make sense. Like if line 10, the first line could say, if something is like, if X is plus something, or if something is true, is a fact, if something was true, then go to line 20. If not, go to line 30. And the program would run to the end, and then you could say, make it like go to line something, and it would ask a question again. So I made these, and this is what got me thinking about my Uncle Jørgen. Because back then we also had games. Of course, there was gaming industry, and I wouldn't say it was not like a criminal thing, but they were expensive back then, way more expensive, the games, than they are now. And it was kind of hard to come by games. And we wanted, to, of course, to have the ability to try out new games before we actually bought the game. And the internet wasn't a thing. Yeah, maybe it was, but only military then knew of it. And the way we shared stuff was just manually copying audio tape cassette decks from one to another, or if you were advanced, you got a floppy disk drive and copied that way. But these games, some of them had copyright, or what is it, protection or something like that on them. And my uncle back then, he's a pensioner now. I'm pretty sure he was, what is it called? Yeah, he was a math professor at a university, or was it a high school? I'm not certain. But the protection as it is now on everything is just math. Just a piece of math, cleverly hidden, checking if something is like, is this okay compared to my code? And if that's okay, if this, then it checks something else. And these codes have gone insanely clever now, but they were kind of more simple back then. But my uncle was one of the, I believe back then we called them crackers. Cracker. Yeah, a cracker. Like you know, the little biscuit you eat in England. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he was in a group. Normally, people like they still active. One of the groups, but from back then, the big ones are still active. You might know them, Skid Row, or yeah, I wouldn't mention. Yeah, but my uncle, he cleverly hit, and his group, they cleverly hit behind the name of the city he lived in back then. This a really, really small town. It was, yeah, you would probably even not, at that time not even call it a town, because it was a few houses, maybe. Yeah, I don't know how many, but it was on the outskirts of the outskirts, and there were not a lot of houses. Like, not like this, but this is an overstatement, but like 3 or 4 houses and a public toilet. That will get the picture conveyed to you. This town was called Beder in Denmark, and they were breaking code or solving math in the code. So they cleverly hid behind the name Beder Breakers. I'm not sure, because when I sat on my patio this morning, I thought, holy shit, Jørgen. Did you do that? Did you cleverly hide behind the extra S in breakers? Like, there were more of you. Was that actually only you doing that? Were you the only one in that, what I thought to be of a group? Yeah, but anyway, Jørgen, my man, thanks for making my childhood that much better. Thank you for breaking the games. Thank you for sparking my imagination. Thank you for like being who you are. And I would really, really love to meet you and your wife and her sister and my mother's sister Jytte when you have like these Christmas and påske